Now, here's the mayor of Chicago, okay? He's seeing what's going on in Washington, D.C. Trump is cracking down on crimes. And Trump is saying out loud, look, every other city that has a problem with crime might be getting the same treatment eventually. And here's what he has to say about a promise to help his city become safe.
Well, President Trump may not stop with D.C., signaling that federal intervention could be on the table for other cities. Cities like New York, Oakland, California, Los Angeles, and Baltimore. Chicago, another target for this potential crime crackdown.
If we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn.
Well, News Nation's Alex Capriello live here in Chicago with a look at what the mayor had to say about the president's plans, as well as the response that just came from the White House. Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. Just moments ago, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt clarified that right now the president is focusing on federalizing D.C.
So I'm going to cut to what he said, because some outlets are being very protective about their content. So we've had one live stream restricted because one of them thinks that we played their videos too long. So I just want to be careful and keep cutting into the meat of the story. So here's the mayor giving us his wisdom on Trump saying, look, we're going to come help your city very soon.
He is one of the biggest threats to humanity that we've seen in an entire generation.
Again, how? I've met people and I've said, okay, explain to me why you think this, and they just can't. They want you to simply take the statement at face value and not ask questions. So how is he the biggest threat to humanity? If you know how, please put it in the comment section or in the chat. I want to know how he is the biggest to humanity.
And as mayor of the city of Chicago, and as someone who understands the premise of our Constitution, we are justified in our resistance.
All right, so your resistance of him enforcing the Constitution, how does that make sense? How does saying that you're justified in resisting law and order in your state? So he's coming to your state to make it safer, and you're justified to resist him to keep your cities unsafe.
To his authoritarianism.
All right, so that's the take of the average Democrat, claiming that Donald Trump is a danger to humanity. Him saying that he wants to come and make your city safe is a problem. The shocking thing is that people who live in Washington, D.C., there's a subset of people who live in Washington, D.C. that would rather keep the crime than agree that they need help. CNN has this poll, and they have a poll that says most people who live in D.C. don't want Trump's help. And I have to ask the question, are you happy with the crime rate? Are you happy with how unsafe the streets are? Are you happy with not being able to take a stroll outside late at night to get a jug of milk? I've lived in unsafe cities, and I've lived in a relatively safe part of North America. That's where I live right now. The difference is very clear. I would not want to go back to living in an unsafe space. Do you know what it feels like I'll tell you what. I know what it feels like to drive at night and not be sure that you're going to make it home without getting attacked. And you literally have to pray until you get home. I know how that feels. So when people talk like this, of course, the mayor has 24-hour security. He can say stuff like that. Everybody else can be exposed to crime. As long as they are safe, it is assumed that everyone shouldn't have a problem. Feed everyone the Trump is evil, he is the biggest threat to humanity line, and everybody will buy it and oppose Trump the same way you do. Pay a bunch of people who don't have jobs, who don't have anything better to do with their lives, and tell them to hold up signs to show that they oppose Trump. That's the grift. People who live real lives and face these things want their cities cleaned up and safer. According to CNN, DC residents hate that Trump is getting involved in cleaning up their city. If your city was doing okay If there was no crime in your city, he wouldn't have to get involved. He wouldn't need to get involved.